So surrounding means from the surrounding you can get affected and you can affect the surrounding. Simple as that. So this environment we can classify broadly into two categories. One is internal environment, another one is the external environment. I told you a simple way where you can remember. Internal environment means inside the business. External environment means outside the business. That is a simple way that you can remember. So if you take the inside the business, internal environment, we learn three factors. What are the three factors? Owners, managers, employees. So I told you as the business, if I am the business, a talk in business, I should know about my owners. I should know about my managers. I should know about my employees. I should know whether my owners have money or not to invest, whether they have the skill, knowledge to run a business like this, whether my managers are skillful, whether they are taking correct decisions, whether the employees are dedicated, hardworking, motivated employees. So as the business, I should know about these parties, internal. Then we move to external. As a business, we should know about our customers. We should know about our suppliers. I took an example, some cake example. And we should know about our competitors, people. We should know about the political aspect of the country. When you are running a business, special, I took examples from Sri Lanka. And you should know the legal environment. What are the rules, regulation, acts, laws, everything which is there in the country. And you should know the technological environment. What are the changes happening in the technological world? What are the new trends? And today we have to do, people, the economic environment and the global environment. So I think we didn't do economic environment. Can I get a confirmation on that? As I can remember, we didn't do the economic environment. Now, who joined late? Lessandu is there. Musandi is there. People, did we do economic environment? Huh? No, right? So you all are not giving the answer means that means you can't remember. You can't remember means it's better to teach again. Eh? No problem. Even I have done, no problem. I'll teach again. So in economic environment, people, as the business, I should know what's happening in the economy. Yes or no? No. You take as an individual people, as individual person. As individual person, sometimes for you it will not be that much of applicable thing, but for your parents, as an individual person, should you have to know about the country's economy, people, for you to become a successful business? No, you are not a businessman. You are an individual person. So simply let's keep that successful part aside. For you to be in this country, should you have to know about the economy in the country? Yes. Likewise, people, the businesses. So I'm a talking business. You imagine like that. For businesses, for us to run the business in a proper way, we should know about our economy. So the first one I have given income distribution. What is this income distribution, people? Later when you are doing A-levels in economics, you will study in depth of the income distribution. I'll just give you a rough understanding. If you take in Sri Lanka, okay, the difference between the lowest income and highest income is very high, people. Let me take an example, okay. We'll assume a person who is doing a normal job in a company. and person who is having a big businesses like Dhammika Pereira. Okay. So this person will earn in millions people, millions, 1,000 million. But this person will earn maybe like 50,000, 60,000 per month. You look at the difference. So businesses different case. Even you take a doctor people, doctor, okay. In country like ours, a normal person who is working will assume in KFC as a waiter, okay. That person might earn like 50,000, but a doctor in Sri Lanka people might earn maybe like 1 million. You look at the difference. One person 50,000, one person 1 million. But if you take countries like USA, Canada, Australia, in these countries, this gap is very less. A normal waiter, if that person earning, maybe we'll assume for a month $4,000, maybe a doctor might earn $6,000. You look at the difference. Difference is very less. That's why people in those countries, even a person is doing a low job, that person is getting a good income. That person is getting a good income. Everyone is settled in those countries. So in those countries, people, not like in Sri Lanka now, in our countries, if we say, okay, you are a waiter, you are a cleaning person. Once you tell like that, our people think, okay, it is a very low level job, no? The earnings are very less, no? If you are a doctor, engineer, wow. That's our culture, people. But in those countries, it's not like that. That gap is very less. So people, they don't have a problem of going for the waiter jobs, cleaning jobs. They don't have problem, people. It's like a normal thing. In those countries, they do respect those jobs also. In our country, it's not happening. In those countries, they do respect those kind of jobs. Just because you say you are a waiter, wow, good, that's it. They will keep on moving. They won't talk with other people, he's a waiter, he's earning like this. Even a small job person will earn a good income in those countries. So people, you just think and see, running a business in Sri Lanka and running a business in a developed country, we'll assume Australia, are two different things. Not the same thing. In those countries, sometimes maybe almost everyone will be able to afford to buy an iPhone. But in our country, everyone will not be able to buy an iPhone. So if Apple company is launching iPhone, obviously they will focus on Australia first. If that's the case, in my example, I'm telling. Because most of the people have the capacity and the capability to buy that product. No? So the gap, it is something that you have to look into. The income level of the people is something that you have to look into. In our country's people, poor is very poor. Rich person is very rich. But in those countries, it's not like that. That gap is very small. Maybe white collar job people, people who are into good professions, they might earn little bit of extra. So in Sri Lanka, India, in these countries, why a lot of people are working so hard to become doctors, engineers, and these good professions people, because for those professions only you can earn a higher income. You just think and see, will you? For a normal weight also, if that weight also getting a salary something similar to a doctor or little bit less maybe, people will go for those jobs also. Now in India, there is a big problem. They have a lot of engineers, but they don't have the jobs. Lot of engineers are there, they don't have the jobs. Why is that? engineers can earn a lot, so a lot of people are doing engineering. So finally, when they go to the job market, they don't have jobs. But you just think and see, if that income distribution is less, if that gap is less, for other jobs also, if they are paying a fair salary, if they also can earn a reasonable income, everyone will not work so hard to become an engineer. A person who really wants to become an engineer only will become an engineer. So that's the problem in our country, no people. Our people will keep their targets based on the income that they can get. Okay, doctor income is higher, engineer income is higher, lawyer income is higher. So by keeping those things in their mind, they will try to become that person. But people, you just think and see, ideally, engineering should be selected by the people who wants to become engineers, not because of the money. Teaching that industry should be selected by the people who want to become teachers. Even now in our countries, people like India, Sri Lanka, even a person who likes to become a teacher sometimes will not become a teacher because the income is less. So he will try to get into the areas which will pay a higher income. Makes sense, no? So everything is connected with income. We'll assume you want to be a singer. Okay. You want to be a singer. If you want to be a singer, people, if you are getting the correct level of income in those countries, or in our country, people, you see, even you are keeping a concert, people will not come if the ticket is above 500. But in those countries, it's not like that. Everyone is having money. If you keep a concert, people will come by spending good amount. You will also get a good income. So you can go in your path, no? Nicely. Without becoming a singer, you will go to some other job because being a singer will not generate you that much of income here. Sometimes. Understand? So that income gap in those countries very less. But here in our countries, people, it is very high. So that income distribution matters when you are running a business. So next one, the living cost. Living cost of the country. Yes, normally people, if you take Sri Lanka a few years back before crisis and the corona, the living cost was relatively little less. But now people, when you compare with the income that our people are generating, the living cost in Sri Lanka also relatively high. Not like New York or not like certain states in Canada, not like Melbourne, not like that, not like Dubai. So, but relatively Sri Lanka also it is high. Living cost matters. Okay, when you are running a business, and the saving that particular people who are there in the country have, and the inflation rate of the country. What is the inflation rate? Means people, the how fast the prices are increasing. Now in our country, the prices increase in a massive scale. No, one loaf of bread few years back it was 100 rupees. Maybe 3 years back, now it is 250 rupees. 150 rupees increased. Why is that? Inflation. If there is inflation in a country, the prices will increase. Now I am running a business, people. When I am running a business, I might need loans. So when I am taking loans, I have to pay interest. So those interest rate matters. And when I am running a business, I have to pay taxes to the government. If the tax rates are very high, will you think about starting a business? So that's another problem in Sri Lanka in these days. Our current government is charging a huge tax from the businesses. So businesses, they don't like to open new businesses. They don't like to come up with new things. Why is that? If they come up with new things, if they start generating good profits, they will not be able to enjoy the profits. Why is that? They will have to give to the government as the taxes. Level of employment means like how many people are working. So as a country, one of the target any country has, reducing the people who are living without jobs. So if there is a country, if a lot of people don't have jobs, that's a big problem in the country. So level of employment, if employment level is high, like 97%, 98%, that means a lot of 98% of the people have jobs. Only 2% of the people don't have jobs. So level of employment, exchange rate, you know the people due to these currency problems, US dollar problem, how much problem we faced, exchange rate, and the international relationship that we have. Now our international relationship is tarnished, right? With China, with Japan. What happened, people? What happened? We openly said we are not going to pay your debt back. You just think and see, people, the relationship that you are maintaining with the other person. I'm just saying, just forget about the country. You apply it for yourself. One of your friends has taken 500 rupees from you. Now he is coming and telling, Machan, don't come and ask me money. I don't have. I will not pay you. Will you get upset or not? Tell me, people. Will you get upset or not? Yes or no? One of your friend has taken 500 rupees. Now he is coming and telling, Machan, I don't have money to pay. I can't return your money back. I'm not going to pay you. You do whatever that you want. If your friend tell like that, will you get upset or not? Tell me. Will you get upset or not? Obviously, you will get upset. Obviously, you will get upset. Will you think about giving a loan for that boy or that friend in the future? Never. So same thing happened to Sri Lanka also, people. Whatever said and done, now here person to person, they are country to country. Our people, our government openly said we are not going to pay your debt. Obviously, they will become upset, no? උන්ට මේ වැඩිපුර සල්ලි තියාගෙන මේ අමාරුවට අපිට සල්ලි දුන්නේ නැහැ. Because of the relationship that we have with those countries only, they gave those loans. Now we are telling, okay, we can't pay the loans. Somehow we will assume we settle the loan. In future, will they give us loan? Never. They will think 1,000 times. Sri Lanka then. Don't give loans. Same practical thing, people, like I took right now for your personal self. Same problem. So people, as a business, what happening in the economy, I should know. Then only I can run the business in a proper way. Because economy will have a direct impact on my business. So can you write down these tiny notes, people? For the income distribution, write down earning level of different people. Earning level of different individuals. Living cost, cost to live, cost to live. Savings, nothing to explain to me. Inflation, price level changes, changes in the price level, changes in the price level. Interest taxes, you know, people. Level of employment. With jobs and without jobs. Here, rupee value against other currency. Relationship with other countries. Relationship with other countries. If you all are done, please post a letter D in the chat box, people. Okay. So now let's move to the next one, people. Global environment. So can you all write this note first? After that, I'll explain. Globalization is the increased connection between countries due to increased mutual relationship among countries. It provides facilities and situations to conduct business activities freely. The main reason for the globalization is due to rapid growth and advancement in information technology that has created the world a global village. Hence, it is important for businesses to analyze global environment. If you all are done, post the letter D, people. Done. So, what is this globalization, people? First, understand that. Now, before this internet comes in, back in those days, if you take people a country, they didn't know a lot of things which was happening outside the country before the internet. And people, if you go further behind, we didn't have, when these imports, exports, nothing was there. No aeroplanes, nothing. You just imagine and see about those days, people. So, in Sri Lanka, we'll take the Sigiriya. So, we had a good mechanism and technique there, right? So, did we get that technique from a foreign country, that mechanism, technology from a foreign country? No, people. So, likewise, for other countries also same. They were doing their work and waiting. That's it. If you take Sri Lanka, our country, our work, our people, that's it. Now, with the advancement of the information technology, what has happened? This everything started to connect, right? I can remember back in those days when I was small, when we had to send some message for a person who is there in abroad, we used to write letters. And those letters also we can't write. Yes, we can write in the normal papers. And there is a way to fold the paper. And there is a special envelope where you have to send for the people who are there abroad. So people, for us to know what's happening there, normally after we write a letter, it will take 2-3 weeks to go the letter. Again, for us to get a reply, it will take another 2-3 weeks. 3 weeks, people, you just think and see. You are sending a message. After 3 weeks only, you are getting a reply. Yeah? Those days. Now what has happened, people? What is happening in a country, everyone knows. And everything is connected. It's not a closed economy, people. Now it's an open economy. Everything is connected. Now if you want to talk to a person who is there abroad, simply take a Skype call. Those days. Now maybe a WhatsApp call. Very simple, right? And as a result of this, what happened? Other countries, technology came into our country. And import, export, especially imports got increased because other countries were doing certain products in a much more better way than how we do. So for us, it's easy to import rather than producing inside the country. If you take in Sri Lanka people, we don't have certain materials to manufacture vehicles and not. So that's why we are importing these vehicles. So we don't have materials to maybe manufacture certain plastic kind of items. We have rubber. We can export the rubber. So different countries have different expertise. So we saw there are certain things where we can have, rather than we produce it, we can import and take it. So entire world now is connected. So if you take a village, what's happening inside your home, everyone in the village normally they will know. People who are in village sites, they know normally. So I have seen actually in villages people, everyone knows everyone. But here in Colombo, actually I don't know who is my neighbor is. So in villages, it's like that. So because of this globalization, what happened? Entire world became one village, a global village, because of the globalization. So what is this globalization, people? The connection between the countries increased. So they started to exchange the technology, they started to exchange the products, imports, exports, cargo, flight, everything. So if you take now, let me take an example for globalization. If I tell you an example, right now I am conducting lectures for you. Being in Sri Lanka, I am a Sri Lankan. This body manufactured in Sri Lanka. Using USA application, which is the Zoom. Using a Australian laptop. Okay. Using an Australian laptop. And by wearing a Indian t-shirt, by talking British language, I am conducting this class. So this is globalization. Simple as that. You see, surrounding. How many items are our country's items? This is India. This is Australia. Phone is California. Huh? Zoom is USA. Huh? This graphic tablet, China. So this is globalization. Entire world is connected. So you think and tell me, people, this globalization is something good or bad? Something good or bad? Globalization. It is something good or bad? Come on, people. I asked you a question. We be engaging in the class, people. If not, I will just stop the class and go. So generally, based on the examples that I took, it seems to be good. But people, due to the globalization, now I told you certain positives, right? Now you are in Sri Lanka, okay. But we are You can have a Europe car, right? Why is that? Because of the globalization. You are in Sri Lanka. You are using Zoom, right? US application. Huh? We are getting to experience all these latest new technologies because of the globalization, people. Because all the countries are connected. You just think and say you are living inside the forest. No one knows about you. Will you know about these like technologies? Will you know about the cryptocurrencies, metaverse, augmented reality, virtual reality? Will you know about this? Hell no. So you just think and see, as a country also, if you are bloody isolated, you will not know about any of these things. So why you know all about all these things? Because of the globalization, the entire world is connected. Communication is so fast. Okay. So there are positives. There are positives. But there are certain negatives also. Now, if you take in our country people, okay, now a lot of things. Now, Sri Lanka is a country. Normally, we have a good culture. We have a good culture. Now, people little by little, that culture is going away from us, no? Because of what? Because of the globalization. Now, back in those days, where boys and girls never talk. Even they meet in a class or any open forum, or they never talk. Then people, it changed. Okay, they started talking. It became a casual thing. Then people, it changed. They can become friends. Okay. Then again it changed. They can become best friend, a boy and girl. Where are the things we didn't have in our country? Okay. And people now little by little it is becoming westernized. Someday in our country, we will also see like what's happening in USA. For them, people kissing in the road is not a big thing. Same thing will happen in future in our country also. It won't become a big thing now. Now back in those days, people when a boy and girl talk, it was like a big thing. Now it's nothing. No, those days, if a boy and girl become friends, it is something wrong. But now it's a normal thing, casual thing. Likewise, in same way, now you might feel okay, boy and girl kissing in the public is wrong. But in future, it will become a normal thing. So again, people, why are we getting all these cultural impacts? It is also because of the globalization. Understand? So globalization, positive things are there, negative things are there. Not only that, people. Now, what will happen sometimes if there is a globalization, the big companies who are there in the world, sometimes they can compete with Sri Lankan companies, people, to win the Sri Lankan market. So it is a threat for our Sri Lankan companies, no? Because of the globalization. So because of the globalization, there are advantages as well as disadvantages also. So shall we write down certain positive impacts of the globalization and negative impacts? So here we'll write one side we'll write the positive impacts, other side we'll write the negative impacts because of the globalization. Negative impact. So write down certain positive impacts, people. Access to the latest technology. Access to the latest technology. Access to the latest machine and equipments. Access to the quality products. Access to the global market. Access to the global market. So this is also very good advantage. Now, uh, I'll take one example. If you take me as a lecturer, I am not conducting lectures only for Sri Lankan students. I do conduct my chartered classes, SEMA, ACCA classes for international students also. Students who are from UK, and when I say students, those students, they age sometimes 50-55 years. UK, Australia, Canada, UAE, Saudi, and if you take Botswana, South Africa, and Ghana, Nigeria, Malaysia, Maldives, New Zealand, Korea, Japan. So these are certain list of my students who are studying chartered with me people, okay, where I do lectures for them. Not Sri Lankan people, not Sri Lankan people, international students. Why international students? How I can access this international market? Only because of the globalization. If the globalization has not happened, I will not have international students with me. If the entire world is not connected, how the hell I can teach for a student who is not in this country? You just think and see, people. Imagine, before the COVID, can I teach for a student who is there in Jaffna? Can I teach for a student who is there in Kandy? At least can I teach for a student who is there in maybe Kampa even? I have to bloody travel, no? Huh? Now I am here teaching for any student in this country, in any place, even in the students from lower area. Huh? After the COVID happened, then only we got that technology, which is the online classes, blah, 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 blah. Now we are doing online classes, right? If the globalization is not there, we wouldn't have had this class also. We will not have this technology also. So likewise, now I am having an income stream. So I am generating money means for the country. I am generating money for myself means I am generating money for the country people, because from outside country money is coming in to our country because of the lectures that I do. So access to this global market I got because of the globalization. It is something very good. So we are talking from this point of view. Sri Lankans teaching to the students who are abroad. Normally people, if you take, when it comes to the teaching, international students also prefer the teachers from Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan. So in these three countries, normally the lecturers are far more better than the lecturers who are there in other countries. Normally in these three countries, not even Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan. By nature, they have a teaching skill. So a lot of other country people, they prefer lecturers from Asia, but sometimes for the skin tone, certain people they don't like. So racism is there a little bit. So at that time, we won't get the student if that's the case. Likewise, now here I'm talking being in Sri Lanka now. Being in Sri Lanka, we are getting students from outside. Likewise, because of the globalization, other companies can come to Sri Lanka also. It is there for our businesses. So two sides. So we are having an impact on the teachers and the lecturers who are there in UK, US, Canada, Australia. We are having an impact for them now. We are taking their students too. Likewise, other country people can come into our country. Maybe with different products. So our country businesses will have an impact because of those international businesses which are coming in. So both the sides are there. Access to the global market, foreign investment into the country. Foreign investment into the country. Now let's write certain negative impacts. Negative. Unfair competition. Now people, I'll take an example. If you take the big onion in Sri Lanka, yes, we grow big onion people in Sri Lanka. But for the Sri Lankan market, there is a huge competition from Indian big onion people. Because sometimes we can import the Indian big onion for a lower cost than we produce in Sri Lanka. We'll assume for us to produce in Sri Lanka, 1 kilo is costing 50 rupees. If we are importing from India, it will cost only 30 rupees. So when you are looking from the country's point of view, sometimes maybe spending 30 rupees is financially viable and financially advisable for you. Sometimes. Eggs also same. In Sri Lanka, there was a time the egg price went up like crazy. Now also same, there is no difference. So there was a point where we can import egg from India for a lower cost than we are producing in-house in the country. So unfair competition can happen. Huh? You just think and see about our farmers, our chicken farmers, the farmers who are growing vegetables. Impact for them, no, when we start importing from other countries. No? So if that's the case, we won't buy from our farmers. If we are not buying from our farmers, what will happen to our farmers? Where is the income for them? All the income is going to India. Unfair foreign competition. Skilled workers migrating to other countries. So this is also a problem. Huh? You know, people in Sri Lanka, after this economic crisis, lot of doctors went out of the country. For certain areas, we don't have the specialized skilled doctors. Specialized doctors are there. No, I'm not talking about these general doctors. For certain parts of the body, there are specialized doctors. You just think and see, if those specialized doctors moving out of the country, then who will look after who will treat those patients inside the country? You just think and see. I'm just saying, The specialized doctors in Sri Lanka with regarding the kidneys, they are going out of the country. Then if there is a kidney failure patient people, who is going to treat them? Problem, no? Lot of people are not thinking about this. Due to the economic problem in our country, there is a huge brain drain, people. Brain drain means our lot of brains are going out of the country. As a country, we need brain, huh? We need brain as a country. Because people, we have the things in our country to do, no? Example, I took doctors. You just think and see, all the software buggers are going out of the country. Then who is there inside the country to build the software? All the accountants are going out of the country. Who is there to do accounting? Who is there to do accounting? As a country, people, it's a massive problem. Huh? Because of this globalization only, this started. It started because of the globalization only. Negative impact on the local culture. Negative impact on the local culture. Too much dependency on global market. Too much dependency on global market. Now, if you take country people, Sri Lanka, again, Sri Lanka is a good country to take any example, people. We faced a big problem during the COVID and economic crisis time when our imports got banned. Lot of people didn't have lot of items, people. Lot of items were not there in the country. Why is that? We are too much depending on imported products in our country. Yeah? So one example, I took no the globalization example. Everything which we have surrounding, if not 90% of the items that we have in the surrounding are not from Sri Lanka. Imported from somewhere. Not manufactured in Sri Lanka. Imported from somewhere, people. Big problem. Too much depending on the global market. So these are certain positive impacts and the negative impact. So with that, we are done with all the internal and external environmental factors. As a business, I should know about my surrounding in order to become a successful business. So the surrounding, environment, two parts, internal, external. Internal, 3 elements, external, 8 elements, we start. Now let's move to the last part of this chapter. Why we should study about the business environment. As I told you people again and again and again, if you want to become a successful business, you should know about your surrounding. When you are learning about your surrounding, people, you should know about your internal surrounding, external surrounding. Internal environment, external environment. Inside the business, outside the business. You should know. Economic environment. Okay, Musandi? Okay. Now let's take an example. You are individual, no? You are individual. Okay. You just type as you think few strengths that you have or one strength that you have. Any strength. Any strength that you have. That you feel. I'll give you some examples. Kumar Sangakkara's strength, he is very skilled in cricket. Okay, example. Mahinda Rajapaksha's strength, he is very good in political science. Science of that politics. Very good in that. It's not political psychology, I would say. Very good in that. It is his strength. So different people will have different strengths. What is the strength that you have, people? Just type. Everyone type at least one. Make the class little interactive. Don't make it boring, people. Don't make it boring. Yusat is having a strength of singing. Where? Ifra, Lesandu, anything. I don't know, people. I don't know. I can't understand. In this class, in batch 2, there are more than 12 students. As I can remember, 13 students is there. But only 4 people have joined. I don't know whether you all have too much of money or what's the reason? I don't know. Paying money and not coming to. If you take Ronaldo, Messi, their skill is football. So as a person, for you to become a successful, or if not people, for you to run your show properly, you should know about your strengths. As well as you should know about your weaknesses. Yes or no? Agreeing with me or not, people? Agreeing with me or not? As a person, shouldn't you have to know about your weaknesses? Obviously, yes. You should know about your weaknesses. I have a weakness, people. Those days when I was in the school, when some teachers scold me, it's a real weakness. When they scold me, I tend to laugh. I don't know. Some big problem, okay. So they go crazy for whole next level. So that is a weakness. That is a weakness. I had once, I can remember, I think my Sinhala teacher, I did some problem. I did some mistake, okay, in school. I was on the table and playing for something like that. So my Sinhala miss actually saw me and she asked me to come and she was scolding me. When she was scolding me, I was laughing. After that, she started to slap me. Like 2-3 times she slapped me actually. She is a little short teacher. So she slapped like this, okay. I don't know, again I started laugh. She went crazy after that. She went mad and I can remember she made a big scene in the school. She took me to the principal and she asked my parents to come. Like big scene happened we were. So nice memories those days. So that was one of my weakness. And maybe another weakness that I have, I don't know how to say no. It is also weakness. When there is a situation where you have to say no, you have to say no, people. අර අපේ කට්ටිය පවුනේ හිත රිදෙයිනේ එහෙම කියන්න පුළුවන්ද? That is a weakness. Seriously, I am telling you. You should learn how to say no. If you don't know how to say no, people, it is your weakness. So now you list me if you one person at least one weakness that you have. One person at least one weakness that you have. අතර දෙනයි ඉන්නේ ඉතින් ඕක දැනගත්ත කියලා මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ නේද? Tell me others. අර එක weakness එකක්වත් දන්නේ නැද්ද? Lacking They have a good process. That is a big strength that they have. They have a good marketing team. That is a good strength that they have. Likewise, businesses will have weaknesses also. Opposite of that. Lethargic employees. Weakness of the business. Lethargic managers. Dumb managers. Who doesn't know how to bloody manage. Weakness of the business. Don't have a good process. Weakness of the business. Lot of wastage. Weakness of the business. So, in order to business to become successful people, they should know about their strengths. They should know about their weaknesses. Okay. So these are internal things. Strengths and weaknesses are internal things. Mangama tiyane. Mage strengths. Mage weaknesses. My strength, my weaknesses. As the business, my strength, my weaknesses. But there are another two more things where businesses should focus on. So I told you two things up to now. Internal, I have two things. What are the two things? One is strength, other one is and weakness. Weakness. Okay. Another two more things as the businesses, as you people should focus on. What are those? Opportunities and threats. Opportunities and threats. They have to see. Now let's take an example. Let's take an example. Okay. We'll assume. Okay. We are working for Samsung company. We are working for Samsung company. To the world, new technology is coming in. So we are trying to grab that technology and we are trying to implement into our phone. So new technology coming in, sometimes it can be an opportunity for us. So people, this COVID, let's take an example, COVID, for the tuition field teachers, it is actually good opportunity created for the COVID. Because of the COVID, now we have the opportunity of teaching for the students who are not there in their radar. So those days I can remember, like when I was starting teaching 13 years back, I used to do lectures, my CMA classes and in my ACCA classes. There were students mainly from Colombo, Gampaha and certain outstation students, okay, in my these classes. Now people, there are students, as I told you, not only in this country, outside the country. So it created a good opportunity for us. It created a good opportunity for us. So when you are running a business, you should know what are the opportunities created in the outside market. You should be able to grab that opportunity. You should be able to grab that opportunity. And you should know the threats also. You should know the threats. We'll assume you are the pick-me company. Pick-me is getting to know Uber is going to come into the country. Then pick-me is going to get a threat. New competitor is coming in. A big international company is coming in. So those are not your inside problems, no? Competitor coming in external, we can't avoid. Opportunities are getting created, it is external, we can't avoid. So strengths and weakness, I have my own strengths, I have my weaknesses. Opportunities and threats are created from external markets. So here, I told you 4 things. What are the 4 things? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So opportunities and threats are from the external market. So here you have a nice model framework. This analysis of your strength, analysis of your weakness, analysis of the opportunities, analysis of the threats. For this complete analysis, there is a nice word we are using, people. We will call it as SWOT analysis. We will call it as what analysis? SWOT analysis. So in this SWOT analysis, strengths and weaknesses are internal. Opportunities and threats are created by the external. Inside I have good strengths, and inside me I have some weaknesses also. Opportunities are created outside, I should try to grab the opportunity. And threats are also created outside, I should try to defend it nicely. SWOT analysis. So as a business, you have to do this SWOT analysis. So what are the 4 items, people? Everyone, yes, I know you are at home. Repeat it with me. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Strengths and weaknesses, internal. Opportunities and threats, external. That's it. Colors. So we'll write the note, people. Write the note here. It is important. It is very important for businesses to study and analyze business environment. Analyzing business environment. Analyzing business environment will allow the businesses to identify strengths and weaknesses, internal factors, and opportunities and threats. External factors. Okay, so can y'all split this part into 4 pieces, people? Split this into 4 pieces like this. Okay, so here we'll write internal positives. Internal positives, tell me another name, people. Internal positives, tell me another name. Internal positives. Internal positives, tell me another name. Strength. Good. Strength. So for that one, write down. So you tell me, people in a business, they have lot of money. It is a strength or not? There is a business having lot of money. It is a strength or not? It is a strength. So write the first one. Availability of availability of adequate capital. Availability of adequate capital. And having experienced managers. Having experienced managers. Having dedicated employees. Having dedicated employees. Having a good brand name. Having a specialized production process. Having a specialized production process. So under that, write down a small note. Use the strength to outperform others. Use your strength to outperform others. Next one, internal negatives. Internal negatives. Tell me another name for internal negatives, people. Internal negatives, tell me another name. Internal negatives, tell me another name. Weaknesses. Weaknesses. So for the weaknesses, write down owners lacking financial capabilities. Owner lacking business knowledge. Owner lacking business knowledge. Inexperienced employees. Inexperienced employees. negative attitude of the negative attitude of the employees. Lack of knowledge about the technology. Bad business location. Bad business location. So people, you tell me, if you have a weakness, ideally what you should do? If you have a weakness, if you know you have a weakness, ideally what you should do, people? Ideally what you should do? If you have a weakness, ideally what you should do? Yes, correct. You should try to come out of that weakness, right? You should try to come out of that weakness. So you have to try to minimize the weaknesses. Try to minimize the weaknesses. Try to minimize the weaknesses. Okay. Now let's move to the next one. Everyone tell me. External positives. Tell me another name. External positives. Tell me another name. External positives. Come on. Opportunities. Opportunities. Write down positive change in consumer lifestyle. So we'll assume people in Sri Lanka, now a lot of people are moving into, we'll assume, moving into health conscious food. So if you are into the food industry, it is creating a big opportunity for you for this health conscious food, like what Subway is doing. Subway people, you have maybe vegetable burgers. Okay. So you can look into something like that. So a new opportunity is getting created for you. Next one, low interest loan by government. People, good opportunity, no? If the interest rates are low, you can take more loans and you can invest it to your business and you can grow your business, no? Huh? That is a good opportunity that you have. Tax reduction. Tax reduction for businesses. So that's a nice opportunity. Yeah. If there is a tax reduction, it is a nice opportunity for you to look into other areas. I told you, a lot of people are not looking into the expansion and not looking into the new income generating streams, because if they generate the income, they have to pay taxes to the government, huge taxes. So they are not looking into those things. If the government reduce the taxes, it's a good opportunity for the businesses. Next one. Construction new cities and infrastructures. Construction new cities and infrastructures. Inside the brackets, you can write down such as highway. It's not highway, the correct word is expressway. Highway, airport, harbor. So when these things are getting created, people, businesses are getting more opportunities, no? Because if there is a highway means, lot of vehicles will pass on in that area. Lot of vehicles will come to that area. You just think and see during the Maitri Palace time, what happened? He created lot of roads to Polonnaru. During the Mahinda's time, he created lot of roads to Hambantota. Hambantota people, those days people never used to travel to Hambantota. But people, after these roads comes in, people started to travel to Hambantota. So when the people are traveling to the Hambantota people, it is a good opportunity for the businesses which is there in the Hambantota, no? Because lot of people are coming, then more people will buy their products and services. So they will have more sales, more income. So why those Hambantota people are getting more sales, more income, more money? Because of simple one thing, road people, road. So building these, whatever the infrastructure thing is good opportunity for certain businesses people. It is good. It is a good opportunity for certain businesses. So for that one, write down. Businesses should try to exploit the, make use of the opportunities. Exploit or make use of the opportunities. Now let's move to the last part. External negatives. External negatives. Traits. So you can write new competitors enter in the market. So when the new competitors are coming in, it's a threat for you. So you just think you are a singer. There are more singers coming in. Threat is creating. Simple as that. Natural disasters. Natural disasters. Rapid change. Rapid is very important. Huh? Rapid change in technology. Rapid change in technology, sometimes it can be a problem for businesses. Huh? Or you just think and see, you bought a machine. Okay, we'll assume a certain machine to produce some kind of product. Today you bought by spending 5 million. After a week, there is a new news coming that machine's technology is fault. There is a new technology. There is a machine with a new technology. So okay, first time no, you are selling the old machine for someone, and you are buying that new machine. After another week, another news is coming. There is a new machine with the latest technology, and you are scrapping off that one also. You are going for that machine. Again, after a week, another new message is coming. There is another new machine with the latest technology. So as a business, how to run the business, mate? Huh? If the technology is changing like that. So rapid change in the technology can become a threat for you. Rapid change in the technology. Political instability. If the political situation is not good. Big threat, people, big threat. Big threat. Now you just think and see, in Sri Lanka, for the tourism industry, tourism businesses, hotel industry, hotel businesses, they had a big threat because how politically we are not stable. What's the threat? Politically not stable. If that is not stable, foreigners will not come into the country. Simple as that. Do you think if we have all these Gota Gama, that Gama, this Gama, foreigners will come into the country? If we have picketings and all these things, they won't come. So political instability. Give me a second, guys. Hello. Wait, wait, wait. Then write international trade embargo. So what is this international trade embargo? I'll tell you. Give me a second, people. So write down for the international embargo. Government restriction on the exchange of goods and services with other countries, typically for political and other reasons. Political and other reasons. Typically, political and other reasons. So people, now let's take Japan. Japan has a strict restriction with Sri Lanka, but they have told for Sri Lanka, do not send vehicles on credit basis. On credit basis means we can buy vehicle by telling them we will pay you later. Japan clearly stated, do not send vehicles to Sri Lanka on credit basis. Why is that? You know, we are not going to pay your loans. So there are certain government restrictions like that. We will call it as government international trade embargoes. Then if you are in Sri Lanka, car industry, just think and see. If you are in car sale industry, is it a positive for you or negative for you? It's a negative for you, no? You could have imported the car on credit basis by telling that supplier, I'll give you money later. Now you are losing that opportunity because of our government. Is it something inside problem of yours? If it is your problem, if it is your weakness, okay, you have to correct yourself. This is not with you, it's outside, external negative. External negative, we will call it as threats. So, international trade embargo is very simple. Government restrictions when you are doing the international exchanges due to the political or other factors. So for that one, write down people. For the threats, be prepared to face the threat. Be prepared to face the threat. Be prepared. That's it. You can't help. You have to be prepared because you can't avoid it. No, you can't avoid it. Try to avoid. Try to avoid. But be prepared. Be prepared. So under this, write down this small note, people. Businesses will have to exploit, make use of opportunities and strengths and to achieve business growth and minimize or avoid weaknesses and threats to ensure business stability. Okay, with that we are done with the complete chapter. So we'll put down a small mind map paper. Shooty mind map gagamopis. So business environment. First we learn what is business environment. Then we learn internal and external. Internal we learn 3, external we learn 8. Then we learn importance. Importance, under that strength, weakness, internal, opportunity, threat, external. Opportunity and threat, external. With that, people, I might forget to tell this. So now itself, I'll just inform you. I'll ask my coordinator to send a message in the WhatsApp group also. Probably next week, you people will have the unit 1 unit test. Huh? Okay. Unit 1 unit test, probably you people will have next week. So it's just a 20-minute paper. So you will have to do it in the Google form. 10 MCQs will be there. So just go through the unit 1 and complete. So we did the content and we did the past papers now. So same thing I'll be doing for the unit number 2 as well and for the 3 as well. So for each unit you have 3 things. What are 3 things? One is content, other one is past papers, other one is unit test. So unit number 1, content and past papers we completed. So next week's plan is to complete the unit test of the unit number 1 and the past papers of unit number 2. Is that clear? Clear ni lamai? Unit number 1 unit test podi paper එක විනාඩි 15ක 20ක වගේ චූටි paper එක and past papers of unit number 2. Clear the chat box එකේ message එකක් දෙන්න. Yes, මේ හැම කියලා මේ දවස් සතියෙම අරගෙන පාඩම් කරන්න එපා. ඕක නිකම් බොරුවට. Don't waste time. මේ නිකම් entire week එකේ ඉඳගෙන unit 1 එක කටපාඩම් කරලා no, don't do like that. It's utterly waste of time. Maybe before the next week's class, half an hour වගේ අරගෙන just go through the note. තේරුණාද? Just take like half an hour and go through the note. That's more than enough. නිකන් අර time ගොඩාක් අරගෙන මේ time waste කරන්න එපා. Okay? So that's it for the day, people. That's it for the day. Good night. Bye bye. Let's meet again next time.